Oh, hey. Hey, how are you? Oh, me? I'm just sitting here hanging out with Arn, rocking my new baddie hat, 'cause, it's baddie. But anyway, this is my third installment of my Little Things series. Hopefully you guys find this stuff to be even remotely valuable. If you'd like to check it out, I made a playlist that I will link in the description of all of the Little Things videos. So if you guys want to check that out, I'd appreciate it. But anyway, this is episode 3 where we're going to talk about FoV, player scavs, and some other stuff. Yeah, so enjoy. Hey everybody, my name is Onepeg, and this is Little Things episode 3. Throughout your travels in Tarkov, you'll come across one of 3 different enemy types: players, scavs, raiders, or other bots, and player scavs. When you're first starting out in the game, it can sometimes be difficult to tell whether or not someone is a player or a bot. You'll start to notice familiarity in mannerisms and patterns of scavs and how they behave in time. But if you get a kill on one and you're not sure, there's a very, very easy way to tell. When you go to loot them, a player's scav's inventory will have a pouch slot where a secure container would typically be located if they were a PMC. An AI scav will not. So if you ever find yourself wondering if you had a hard firefight with the computer or if you just outplayed another person, this is the easiest way to verify it. I got lead slugs. I got a Dobby book. I got a Salewa kit. 18 minutes. Oh, actually pretty late. Oh my god! Oh my god! When working through your preferred loadout for a raid, you might have a desire to mix ammunition, or depending on the map, you want to make sure that you have just enough cash to pay for that optional car extraction, like on the woods or on interchange. The mechanic of stack splitting helps a lot with this. To split a stack of an item, hold Control, and then click and drag that stack from the square that it's in to another square in your inventory. This will bring up a prompt that lets you determine how much of the item you would like to split off. From there, you can tailor your loadout accordingly. For anyone that's played shooting games, you eventually get to the point where you want to further tailor your gaming experience to something that is more comfortable. Things like changing keybinds or adjusting mouse sensitivity, and perhaps even your field of view. Tarkov's field of view slider, located in and under the Game tab of the settings menu, allows someone to change their vertical field of view as it corresponds to a number of degrees on this slider. Because the field of view adjustment is vertical, but the rectangle that you view the game in is fixed, that's your monitor, in case you weren't sure, this means that depending on your field of view, it can cause a little bit of visual warping. And I'll show you what I mean. In this picture, we have a field of view of 75. This is the maximum the slider allows us to see, which on the surface seems fine, right? Well, here in this picture, the field of view is 50. Notice how much closer to our target we appear to be. This is because of the distance warping that happens when trying to fit a larger vertical field of view into our monitor's rectangle. In addition to this, there is also a warping effect that occurs when using iron sights and red dots. On the AS Val, for example, the irons on this gun are zeroed at 100 meters. So, with this train car about, 60 or 70 meters away, this round should hit a little bit high, right? And it does. This is true at 50 FOV. However, if we change this to 75 FOV, even though we aim at the same level as the first shots at 50 FOV, you can see that the hits are significantly higher on the train car. This is because changing the FOV modifies the zeroing of irons and unmagnified red dots. With scopes, this isn't the case. You're fine. But just keep in mind that if you're playing at a higher field of vision, you'll need to aim low using iron sights and collimators more so than someone that plays at a lower FOV. Everyone knows that pressing R will reload your gun. A bit less know that if you double tap R, this will do what's called a combat reload, where rather than putting your magazine into your rig, you will instead drop it on the ground and insert another mag, which shortens the time it takes to reload your weapon. So if you didn't know that one, then this is a bonus for you. What people may not know is that you actually have the ability to select the mag you want to use. To do this, simply hold down the R key and then scroll your mouse wheel up or down. By default, a small pop-up with the different mags that you have in your rig will appear. This allows you to select which one you'd like to reload with. This can be somewhat useful for those Chad gamers among us that like to have different mag loads for different situations. So feel free to mix and match your magazines should you see fit. Certain rail systems on certain guns allow for a secondary canted sight utilizing the MPR-45 angle mount. This is most commonly coupled with a PK06 red dot, although others can be used. It has been tested in the past and proven that the current meta of the game actually provides for a faster or reduced time to aim down sights when utilizing the canted sight only, instead of having it as a secondary backup. However, there's a fun little Easter egg with this for an alternative grip on your rifle. Typically, if you have two sets of optics, you would switch between them by holding Control and then right-clicking per the default settings. If you only are using the canted sight and then Control right-click instead, this changes the way you grip the rifle and shifts the barrel position slightly. So give it a try, and maybe you can find a use for this extra stance in your travels. Remember the time when Onepeg roasted my dead dad? You're an asshole, wife. You're an asshole. Actually, that's the only time I'll be able to ever utter that sentence and not get punched in the face. That right there, that moment where I said you're an asshole, wife, that's the only time I get away with saying that and not get punched in the face. Yeah. So thank you for allowing me to do, thank you for that. Thank you. The last one today has to do with a simple but lesser known build for shotguns. There's a few different builds for shotguns if you want to include optics. On the 153 especially, the typical build is to use an SPRM mount on the back for a red dot and then a sprut on the front for a flashlight or a laser. However, BSG has now added an alternative. The EMTI 019. This rail attaches to the vent on the barrel of the 153, which allows you to place an optic a little bit further forward, or, combined with the SPRM mount in the back, allows you to place a low-profile laser or laser flashlight combo onto this forward rail, freeing you from having to use a sprut for a flashlight or laser device. I just want to say thank you to you guys for taking a few moments of your time to sit with me today. I greatly appreciate your eyeballs, and please sub to the channel if you haven't done so already. My name again is Onepeg. May your safes always have Bitcoin, your gear always come back on insurance, and your legs never break when you fall. Thanks.